Okay, quick question. How long is a meter? Easy, right? It's a meter. But here's the wild part. For basically all of human history, nobody could agree on that. We built empires, sold mountains of grain, drew up borders, all using rulers based on a dead king's arm, a handful of barley, some guy's foot. I'm not even kidding. The story of how we figured out what 1 meter actually means is a chaotic, centuries-long mess, full of revolutions, spies, a cursed metal bar, and one heartbroken astronomer with a secret. So buckle up. Measuring the world got way more dramatic than anyone ever tells you. So picture the old days. There's no official anything. A foot? Allegedly the length of a king's actual foot. A yard? The distance from King Henry I's nose to his thumb with his arm stretched out. An inch was 3 barley corns in a row, just cereal. And think about how broken that is. If the king has a growth spurt, the whole country technically shrinks. Bad harvest? Your barley corns come up tiny, and suddenly every merchant in town is getting ripped off, and nobody can prove it. Every village had its own measurements, so a mile here was a flat-out lie one town over. It was beautiful chaos. People knew it was a disaster. They just needed one thing that never, ever changes. And where do you even find something like that? Enter the French Revolution. Yeah, while Paris is, let's say, going through some things, a handful of scientists have a genuinely genius idea. They go, forget kings, forget body parts. Let's base our unit on the one thing every single person shares, the planet. So they define the meter as 1/10,000,000th of the distance from the North Pole to the equator. How cool is that? A measurement owned by nobody. No king can fake it, no country can cheat it. It's perfect. There's just one tiny problem. To actually use it, somebody has to go out and measure the entire Earth. And oh boy, that's where it gets spicy. So they pick 2 guys. Delambre takes the north, Michane takes the south. The mission? Measure this giant invisible line down through France, Dunkirk all the way to Barcelona, and use it to calculate the size of the whole planet. They figured, maybe a year. Try 7. Because remember, it's 1792, the country is in full revolution mode, and here are 2 dudes climbing church towers with shiny brass gadgets pointing them at the sky. To a paranoid mob, that's not science, that's spies, royalists, witches. They get arrested, their gear gets seized. At one point, Delambre literally has to read his nerdy science notes out loud to an angry crowd just to prove his fancy machine isn't a secret royal weapon. But Michane gets the rough one. He's stuck on the Spanish border, injured, can't get home, just grinding through his measurements, when he spots something that terrifies him. His star readings over Barcelona don't match. There's a tiny error that, by every rule he knows, should not exist, and he panics. He could come clean, or bury it. He buries it, and he carries that secret for the rest of his life. It haunts him, drives him back out into the field to fix it, and that's where he catches a fever and dies. He took the meter's very first mistake to his grave, and the world used his numbers anyway. Oof. Okay, so now the Earth's been measured, kind of, and everyone's like, great, lock it in. And they do, literally. They cast the meter into a single bar of platinum and drop it in a vault in Paris. 1 bar. The bar. Everybody else just had to trust it. Later, they upgrade to platinum iridium, super tough, basically indestructible, and this becomes the one true meter on Earth. Climate-controlled vault, guards, the whole vibe. Other countries got official copies they had to haul back and compare, like little measurement pilgrimages. But here's the catch with betting everything on one object. You're always one accident away from chaos. A scratch, a heat wave, a fire, and boom, the meter just changes. Oh, and get this. The meter's twin, the kilogram, did something genuinely spooky. Over 100 years, that little metal cylinder lost weight. Nobody fully knows why. The actual definition of mass was quietly drifting. So yeah, our priceless relics were slowly falling apart in a basement. We clearly needed a better plan. And in 1983, we finally nailed it. The move was so clever. Stop using objects altogether. Instead, tie the meter to the one thing in the entire universe that never scratches, never gets stolen, never loses weight, and is exactly the same here, on Mars, and across the whole galaxy: the speed of light. So now, a meter is officially the distance light travels in a vacuum in 1,299,792,458th of a second. No bar, no king, no barley. Just pure, unbreakable light. Chef's kiss. So think about what actually happened here. We went from measuring the world with our own messy bodies to measuring it with the universe itself. We didn't just build a better ruler. We admitted something kind of beautiful. Reality doesn't need us. It was here before the kings, before the barley, before any of us, and it'll keep going long after. We spent 3,000 years chasing a perfect measurement, and it turns out it was sitting right there the whole time, hidden in a beam of light. Pretty wild, right? Does that change how you see, well, everything? Drop it in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.